Hello, Dr. Cinema here. The Rocky franchise. Love it. Last time I talked about the Rocky franchise, I believe it was the original film versus Creed, and I said that I like Creed better. Well, today, it's time for an even bigger challenge Creed versus Creed 2, the sequel to the 2015 film that blew everyone away. It's time we discuss it. 5 rounds, which is less than an actual boxing match. Let's do this. Sorry. I just ate bread. Anyway, round one. Story. The story of the first Creed movie is that through flashback we see Apollo's widowed wife discovering that he had a technically bastard child before he died in the ring in Rocky IV, found the child, took him in, raised him up, and now Adonis Creed wants to be a boxer like his dad, goes to Philadelphia to find Rocky, they train, and they fight. It gives I should probably get to the story of Creed 2 first before I talk about that. Creed 2 sees Adonis Creed now the heavyweight champion of the world, and he's being challenged by Victor Drago, son of Ivan Drago, to a boxing match. Now, they fight total of 2 times in the film. First time goes pretty badly for Adonis Creed. He has to find himself spiritually. Then he has to train harder than he has trained yet. And he goes back to Russia to fight Victor Drago in an epic battle. Now, both these movies give weight and emotional depth to the death of Apollo Creed in the Rocky IV film, which, let's be honest, as entertaining as it was pretty silly. But these two films added weight and emotion to a movie that was pretty over the top, which is already impressive in itself. And there is a lot of motion in Creed 2 that's pretty great to see. However, in Creed 2, the story of finding a way to pay respect to the past of the franchise while trying to find a way to move forward is in itself impressive because no one thought that first Creed movie would work. So, just in terms of, impressing people with the path it chose to further the franchise, I'm going to go with the first Creed film. Let's move on to round 2. Supporting cast. You've got Adonis's foster mom, technically speaking. I can't remember the character's name, but she played Claire Huxtable from The Cosby Show. And you have Bianca, played by Tessa Thompson, the love interest, and in the second Creed film, Adonis' wife. You got Rocky Sylvester Stallone. And you've got the L.A. trainer, the son of Apollo's old trainer who shows up in both films. In terms of supporting cast, that's pretty much all there is in both films. Now, I think since we were introduced to some of these characters in the first film, it did a good job of fleshing them out and showing what makes them unique and interesting. And of course, the return of Rocky in the first Creed film, it was a pretty scene-stealing moment. There were some scene-stealing moments from Rocky in the first Creed film, and even earning an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor. Now, he is good in Creed 2, but I wouldn't say he's exactly the same scene stealer, not quite, as in the first Creed film. So I'm going to give this round to the first Creed movie as well. Now, let's move on to round 3, the antagonist. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of the antagonist from the first Creed film, but in the story, he was the current heavyweight champ until he got brought up on possession of illegal firearms charges, if I'm remembering that correctly. So he's about to go to jail, but before he goes to jail, he wants to have one last big fight, and he chooses Adonis Creed to do that, and they have their big match at the end of the film. In Creed 2 starts with the antagonist. The first scene, Victor Drago with his father Ivan Drago. They are trying to take down Adonis Creed to win back honor and respect for their family, who since Rocky IV have had pretty awful lives. They've been living in Ukraine, and even the wife slash mother left them. She's a bitch. She might be the real villain in the movie. Now let's just stick with the Dragos. Now the antagonist of the first Creed movie is suitable. He's a nice character, but there's no denying the presence and intimidation of Victor Drago and what he brings to the table and what he represents. So I'm giving this round to Creed 2. Let's move on to round 4, fights. The fights of the first Creed movie were pretty good, especially with the fight at the end between Creed and the antagonist. That was some pretty good fight. And even though technically Adonis didn't win that one, he did sort of like win the spirit and support of boxing fans, which was pretty nice. But in Creed 2, those fights get intense and painful to watch, but in a good way. Whenever Victor Drago lands a punch on Creed, you can feel the pain and the impact every punch has on him. It's intense to watch. I mean, he goes down his knees and then Victor Drago punches upside the head, and Adonis goes down and is sent to the hospital. That's some pretty impactful shit. So I'm giving this round to Creed 2. Now we have the 5th and final round, atmosphere of the film. So this is going to be a tough one. The first Creed movie, this is kind of hard to describe in words, which is supposed to be my job right now. The first Creed movie is about a lost son of Apollo Creed trying to get into the boxing profession on his own 2 feet with some training from his father's old friend Rocky, and there are some pretty emotional lines from Rocky while training Adonis Creed about what it means to be a boxer and to fight. In Creed 2, generally speaking, there is a little bit more of a happier atmosphere in certain parts of the film, but there is no denying that there is some strong emotion here as well, with Adonis going up against the Dragos, the people that killed his father in the ring. It forces him to face some inner feelings and demons, and especially when he loses the first fight, he's pretty lost spiritually. He's kind of scared a little bit for a short part of the film, which adds some new emotional depth to the character that wasn't really seen in the first film, which I think is what gives Creed 2 its own unique flavor. Why am I describing it as food? Point is, there's enough in both these films to make them stand their own 2 feet, and there's definitely a lot of emotion and passion put in each film. But I think an added bonus for Creed 2 is that we finally were able to deal with the Drago family, and now if the franchise chooses to move forward, it'll be completely Adonis' own story. He won't have to keep trying to look back on his father's life and career and trying to figure out a way to pay respect to him with every fight and opponent. So I think because of that, I'm going with Creed 2. I'm giving the match, the round, and the title of favorite film of the Rocky franchise to Creed 2. Now, I know definitely some of you people are going to disagree, so comment down below your thoughts. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys next time.